Welcome back, everyone, to AHSAA TV Weekly. We have Jeff Mauldin with us, the Hewitt-Trussville baseball coach who has just achieved a huge milestone. Welcome, Coach Mauldin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, Coach, first of all, let's talk about this team this season before we get to your personal achievement. I know that you guys had an outstanding season last year, and you're already off to a fast start. So how's it going so far?
Pretty good. We're 10-4. We just got back from Auburn. Went 2-1 in Auburn against some of the best teams down south. Played Smith Station, Central Phoenix City, and Auburn. We actually took a trip for the first time earlier this year to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and played in a really nice tournament out there. But coaching teenagers, you have ups and downs and peaks and valleys, and we like where we're at right now. We got a tough week this week, and we're 3 weeks away from area play starting. So just trying to use these 3 weeks to get ready for area play when the games count and really matter.
Well, Coach, you spoke about peaks and valleys. I understand that a recent peak in your own life is that you achieved your 700th career win. Tell us how that feels.
It's really surreal. I had a friend of mine who sent me a list of, I guess, the coaches who had won 700 several weeks ago, and just I guess to see your name listed with, 5 guys or just under 5 guys who have achieved it in the history of the state, kind of really made me. It humbled me. I had to start thinking about, where I started at Clay Chalkville, 25 years ago, then went to Pelham, and then now here at Hewitt-Trussville, and it really made me start thinking about the players I've coached and the coaches I've coached with, and just relationships. And it kind of not made me upset, like upset in a happy way. Just very, very humbled and appreciative of just the people that have been a part of that journey, and just kind of, I don't know, it's hard to even put into words because you're still in the middle of a season, and you're sitting there thinking about 700 wins over 25 years, and it's a special to take some time to think about the coaches you've coached with, the players you've been able to have the privilege to coach. And I got to tell our players, I get the opportunity to have a front row seat every day to watch kids play baseball, and it's just such a joy to do. And I tell you that I think the thing that got me the most was my athletic director, Lance Walker, and my wife, Chrissy. They actually took a couple of months before it was happening. I didn't even know it, and it was getting letters written to me. I think they tried to get 700 letters in a box. I have no idea if there's 700 there because I haven't been able to read them all. I've started reading them, and like every other letter I read, I start crying because you're in the middle of coaching, and you just don't know, you don't realize the impact you're making on people's lives. And I went to my box at school just yesterday, and there was a 3-page letter written from a former parent who I had coached his brother and 2 of his sons. And it was just how baseball, myself and their family intertwined, had saved a family and brought a family closer together, and set 3 young men up for success in life, and now they have families, and it just gets you because you're coaching baseball and you love the game, you love kids, and you love winning. But when you hear a story like that, it really puts things in perspective. And
well, Coach, I think we could probably just close the show right here. I think you just summed up everything that's important about high school athletics. We could just play that clip on repeat over and over. Thanks for saying all of that. Let me ask you, though, this kind of success, just your personal impact on those around you, but also 700 wins, in your own personal record book. That kind of success isn't built overnight. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today.
Well, I'm originally from Virginia. I played high school baseball in Virginia for my head coach, Vern Barker, at George Washington High School. And then I got a scholarship to play at UAB. I had a scout funny thing is, New York Met scout Joe Mason, he flew to Virginia to watch our center fielder play outfield and was going to be drafted by the Mets. And I just happened to be pitching that day. And the scout was watching me pitch. He was watching him play, but I was pitching, and he called Jim Case, who was at that time the pitching coach at UAB, who just retired from Jacksonville State as the head coach. He called Jim Case and said, "Hey, there's this right-handed pitcher here in Virginia. I think you need to sign." And Coach Case called me, offered me over the phone without even seeing me pitch, just took the word of Joe Mason. And I came on a visit to Birmingham. I didn't even know what UAB stood for. He had to tell me it was Alabama Birmingham. Being from Virginia, North Carolina and Duke and Virginia Tech's what we knew. We didn't know anything about Alabama and Auburn. And I guess the funny thing is, when I got here, someone asked me, who am I pulling for in the Iron Bowl? And I was like, I didn't even know there was a bowl called the Iron Bowl. I thought it was Orange Bowl and Peach Bowl and Sugar Bowl. But I came to UAB and I just saw the schedule, and I saw they played SEC teams in midweek, and they had just came off a regional bid at UAB, and I wanted to pitch against the best. And so I left home, and I had my summer ball coach. The best advice he gave me in being in Virginia was, move away from home, move away from all your distractions, and go to warmer weather. We only played 16 games this season in Virginia because of all the snow. And so I came south and came to UAB, and I played 4 years. I got redshirted, hurt my arm, so I had a fifth year. But then I fell in love during my redshirt year when I was hurt. I fell in love with the coaching side of it, and I spent a lot of time with Coach Case on the bus. Him kind of giving me scenarios of what I would do in certain situations, and I kind of ended up being the bullpen coach while I was hurt and being down there with the pitchers, getting ready to go into games. And after I graduated, they kept me on for an extra year to be a graduate assistant coach there at UAB, and just it kind of morphed into a coaching career where I fell in love with the game. Coach Case took me under his wing, really showed me a lot about the ins and outs of, studying hitters and studying pitchers and working with people like that. And then I left UAB. Really, everybody kind of left. Coach Case went on to Mississippi State to coach. My roommate was a guy named Steve Gillespie. He was a coach. He went on to scout with the Philadelphia Phillies. And I was getting engaged, and realized college baseball GAs didn't make enough to support a wife. So I had to I went and got a job at Clay Chalkville Middle School, and I was at Clay Chalkville Middle School for 2 years and a PE teacher. And then I got the head coaching job at Clay High School, and I was there for 7 years. So I spent 9 years total at Clay, but 9 as the varsity coach. And then I got the job at Pelham. I spent 6 years at Pelham, and then came here to Hewitt-Trussville. And I'm in my 12th year here at Hewitt.
Well, Coach Mauldin, I can't thank you enough for your inspiring story. You've hit all the highlights of high school sports. We thank you for your time. We wish you all the best this season. I know you've reached 700 wins, but we're in the middle of the season, and I know you've got goals set for this team. So we'll be watching in early May. Hope to see you competing for the 7A state championship.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for having me, and you guys have a great day.
Thanks so much. And we'll be right back after this on AHSAA TV Weekly.